What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to my channel, where today we have another video going on. This time it's NCAA 14 Revamped World Cup. Now, how this is going to work is I took the top 32 teams from the AP Top 25 poll, the last poll of the season, so that being the top 25, and then the next 7 highest vote getters, and I put them each into groups. Now, these groups go from ranks 1 to 8 and so on and so forth. So ranks 1 through 8 have their own groups. 9 goes with group 1 and so on and so forth. And how this is going to work is just like the FIFA World Cup. That being, each team is going to play 3 games. The top 2 teams from each of the 8 groups will then go into the bracket where it is single elimination, and the last team standing is going to be the winner of the NCAA 14 Revamped World Cup. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go group by group, starting with Group A. As you can see here, there's Georgia, Tulane, Oregon State, and Texas. We're going to go through this entire group. Each team is going to play their 3 games, so we determine which 2 teams will be moving on. Then we'll go to Group B, Group C, so on and so forth, until we have the top 2 from each of the groups. So what you see before you is how the order of games is going to be determined. So this is the order of the games that you will see. So Georgia and Tulane will be first. And what I'm going to do is after each team has played their first, their second, and their third games, you're going to see an updated record score. So after Georgia and Tulane and Oregon State versus Texas, you'll see an update, and so on and so forth, until finally we have our winners. Alright, so immediately we get into game 1 here. As you see, Georgia's leading Tulane 20-10. Tulane, looking for anything here with a minute left, finds an open receiver down the field. He's down to about the 7-yard line. Second and goal here, Tulane's quarterback looking, finds an open receiver for a 4-yard gain. Michael Pratt, third and goal now, looking for an open receiver. He has one there right on the right side, not the one I was looking at. However, they do score. Onside kick, but Georgia recovers, and they're going to be winning this 20-17. Oregon State versus Texas now. Oregon State 2nd and 4, hands the ball off, tries to at least. 3rd and 9. He's looking, he finds a receiver open over the middle for a big first down. Oregon State leading those first downs here. As you see, I'm not even going to pronounce that name, looking for something, looking for anything, tries 2 runs. Doesn't find anything, but that's okay because all they need is a field goal. And Texas, with 10 seconds left, decides to hand the ball off to Bijan Robinson. 6 seconds, 2nd and 1. Quinn Ewers looking, find a receiver down with 1 second left. There is possibility for a miracle here. Quinn Ewers looking, throws it deep, and it's almost caught on the deflection. Georgia and Oregon State going up 1-0. Second games now, Georgia actually losing to Oregon State here, 2nd and 9 with a minute 24 left. Stetson Bennett finds his receiver for a first down, pretty easy first down there, looking, scrambling a little bit, and he ends up throwing a dot downfield to another one of his receivers, ends up throwing it out of bounds there. 2nd and 10 with a minute left, runs the option. Stetson Bennett finds 5 yards here. 3rd and 5. Looking for a touchdown, needing a touchdown to win this game. Throws it deep and way out of the way for his receivers. 4th and 5 now, last chance. And Stetson Bennett ends up throwing his receiver who steps out of bounds, and they lose. And our second set of games in the second round, Texas up 24-13. They're just going to defeat Tulane. Oregon State going up 2-0. Georgia and Texas fighting for that second spot here as Oregon State is beating Tulane 26-21. A minute 25 left. As you see, Tulane steps up, only finds 3 yards there, down by a touchdown. Let's see if they can play spoiler to anybody. Finds the halfback screen here for a big first down. He's running over dudes. That's tough. Goes 1st and 10 now, 55 seconds left. Finds an open receiver over the middle of the field once again. 1st and 10, 45 seconds left now. Steps up, slides immediately. 2nd and 7 with 36 seconds left. Decides to just throw it into the dirt. 3rd and 7, finds a receiver open over the middle of the field. 1st and goal here. Tulane looking to play spoilers. Finds a receiver who drops it. 2nd and goal. 25 seconds left. Clock is diminishing. He has a receiver wide open over the middle who he misses. Michael Pratt, what are you doing? 3rd and goal here. It looks like they don't want to win as he dishes it down for 3 yards. 4th and goal, last opportunity. And what is he going to do? He's going to throw it, and his receiver drops a perfect pass. Now the second set of games, Georgia and Texas tied 31-31. Winner moves on. As Stetson Bennett steps up, finds that first down, 40 seconds left. And he ends up throwing an interception to Texas. Could this be their opportunity to move on? Quinn Ewers steps back. He's looking, and he throws an interception. And Georgia takes the ball right back. 30 seconds left now. They dish it down. And they just end up letting this run out. They go to overtime. Quinn Ewers now, 31-31 on the first play of overtime. Can't find his receiver. Now immediately dishes it down to his receiver for a measly gain of 1 yard. Looking for anything. You want a touchdown in this situation. Finds his receiver, who therefore gets that first down. Now Quinn Ewers steps up. He's scrambling. He's running. 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5 now. Looking for the reverse sweep, and he finds absolutely nothing. 3rd and 5 now. Looking for this touchdown. Looking around. Tries to throw it to the back of the end zone. Misses his receiver pretty badly. And Texas takes a 3-point lead now. Up 34-31. Georgia finds his receiver over the middle of the field for a big gain. Stetson Bennett doing what he's known to do. And that's just make big plays. That 25-year-old man is doing dirty. 2nd and goal now. Stetson Bennett is he finds his receiver over in the back of the end zone, and Georgia moves on with Oregon State. And as we get a look at Group B here, we've got TCU, Utah, Notre Dame, and Duke. Let's get into it. And in Game 1, Utah is beating TCU 20-17. TCU has the ball with 1:43 left. Max Duggan throwing it away there. 2nd and 10 now. 1:41 left. He's dropping back. He's looking. Finds his running back, who's going to go up the field for a big, big gain. And he won't be stopped. 1st and 10 now. 1:25 left. And he decides to hand the ball off. Actually breaks another tackle. He's breaking through tackles on tackles. And he's continuing to drive theirs. They're going to settle for the field goal. And they're actually going to take this into overtime. Tied 20-20, 2nd and 5 here. TCU has the ball. Max Duggan's looking. And he ends up finding his receiver. That's a dot. For 2nd and goal now. They're going to hand the ball off. And he's just going to waltz right into the end zone. Now up 7, Utah 2nd and 13. Actually handing the ball off, and that's going to go for a big 9-yard gain here. Now 4th and 4, last shot, and he finds a dot. 4th and goal now, though. A lot of mistakes made, and he ends up finding his receiver wide open over the middle to force double OT. Finds his receiver again for that big first down here. 2nd and 4, Utah looking for something, as he's going to get dropped into the backfield, and they're going to fumble the ball. TCU's going to pick it up. And because of that, TCU, they just had to run the ball, and they get a free field goal for it. Second game here, Duke up 24-23 actually on Notre Dame. Notre Dame now driving, though. 1st and 10, 30 seconds left. And they're just finding yardage. 30 seconds now, 1st and 10, just driving into Duke territory. Remember, they only need a field goal, and what a pass. What a play finding the open receiver. 1st and 15 from the 30. And Notre Dame is just finding all of the openings. And they're going to end up kicking this field goal, and they're going to end up winning this game to go 1-0. TCU and Notre Dame starting out undefeated. And in the second game, TCU up 28-7. They're just going to take this, and they're going to win this game pretty handedly. And in the second game, no surprise, Utah is going to defeat Duke. So that's going to leave TCU at 2-0, Utah and Notre Dame at 1-1, and Duke at 0-2. Last games, TCU is going to knock off Duke. Duke's going to go 0-3. TCU is going to start 3-0 and win their group here as they get that big first down. Utah now down by 7 against Notre Dame with 1:35 left. And you see, believe that's Cameron Rising dropping, finding his receiver, rolling out now, finds his receiver open, who just gets blasted as he's going up the sideline. Sideline pop there, some old middle school rules. as he finds his receiver once again for a big gain. 35-yard line now. 27 seconds left. He's looking for his receiver, and he finds him over the middle of the field again. 2 seconds left now. 2nd and goal. Utah looking to make another comeback here and take this to OT, and he can. OT now, 3rd and 2 for Notre Dame, and he's looking for anything, but he can't find it, and it's going to be 4th and 4. They're going to elect to kick their field goal, take their points, and they're going to need to stop here. Utah finding that big gain. He's just running through people. Tavion Thomas getting that big 10-yard gain. 2nd and 10 now. And Utah just finds his receiver wide open over the middle, and TCU and Utah are going to take this. Group C now, we got some interesting teams in the mix. Michigan, Florida State, Troy, and UTSA. Let's see who's got what it takes here, as in Game 1, FSU is going to be winning this currently 28-21, but Michigan is driving with 1:30 left. They are on Florida State's 31-yard line. J.J. McCarthy throws it deep, and his receiver drops it wide open in the end zone. That would have been big. And instead now, FSU is going to pick up a fumble by J.J. McCarthy. His team is going to sell him, and FSU is going to take a 1-0 lead in this group stage. As you see here, Troy versus UTSA. UTSA looking to come back and score some points here, down 10-7, 2nd and 4. And his receiver gets popped, but he's able to find him and catch that first down. And he decides to take it and run it himself. He's going up the field, and he ends up fumbling at the end, but that's not going to matter. 3rd and 10 now. They are just about within field goal range. Finds his receiver, 4th and 7, able to kick the field goal to tie it up here. And now, 46 seconds left for Troy. Let's see what they can do. They got 3 timeouts. Troy's going to find his receiver, and his UTSA is going to miss that tackle, and he's going to go for a big gain here. 2nd and 6 on UTSA sideline. And again, another missed tackle here. Troy, just about in field goal range on the 34-yard line. And look at Troy stepping up. He's finding, he's going, he gains 10 yards, and they're going to end up just going right down the field here, using their timeouts, getting a better field goal position, and Troy's going to win this and go 1-up with Florida State. And in the next game, no surprise here, Florida State is just going to dominate this game from start to finish, 34-7, as this just adds an exclamation point on that victory, and Michigan's going to end up winning that 24-17 to go 1-1. Troy and Michigan now 1-1. FSU going to be playing against UTSA, and FSU is going to take this as UTSA is going to fall, and Michigan is going to dominate Troy and take that 2nd spot behind Florida State here in Group C. A lot of big teams staying in this in Groups A through C here, as we see Group D, Ohio State, USC, Mississippi State, and Air Force. Really tough games here. As you can see, USC going into Ohio State and actually knocking them off. USC going crazy on them, as Mississippi State is also going to knock off Air Force, add insult to injury here, and gain the first down. So they're both going to start 1-0 here. Ohio State falling not too shabby, but they're going to come right back 37-7 against Mississippi State, and they're just going to show their dominance and why they're one of the best teams in the nation, as USC continues their dominance against Air Force, going up 35-17. And USC looking primed to take that first spot up 2-0. Ohio State goes into Air Force and just dominates them, obliterates them, as you see him truck that guy. USC up 24-17, gonna hand it off, no timeouts left. That's just gonna be the end of the game, and USC is gonna take to 3-0. And Ohio State 2-1. Group E here, you have Alabama, Clemson, UCLA, and Boise State. Really tough games here, actually. Is Bama going 40 and dropping it on Clemson's head with no answer from Clemson whatsoever. Not even a single point. And UCLA goes into Boise State and wins this 31-24. UCLA going up 1-0. Alabama going up 1-0. And actually, UCLA just runs through Alabama 28-14. They're going to take that victory, and Clemson's actually going to win 33-8 as well. That means that UCLA is up 2-0, and Alabama and Clemson are both 1-1. Could they both miss this? Is Alabama not going to lose to Boise State 38-14? They're just going to win this game, and Clemson actually goes and beats UCLA 45-21. And if you look at the standings, Alabama and Clemson are actually going to take this because of point differential, and UCLA is going to get knocked out. As you see Group F here, Tennessee, Kansas State, Pitt, and Minnesota. First game, Kansas State just going to really try and assert their dominance early here against Tennessee, one of the better teams in my opinion. As you see, Tennessee is just going to not have any answers, and they're going to turn the ball over. Kansas State's just going to win. Pitt winning 31-3 over Minnesota, and they're going to start 1-0 as well. And going into the next game, Pitt up 28-24 actually on Kansas State. And what a one-handed grab by Kansas State, Malik Knowles. As you can see here, 2nd and 15, Kansas State looking for anything, and he finds a wide open receiver on the left side of the field, Cade Warner, 28-24, 4th and 8 here, 30 seconds left, and he finds a wide open receiver. Pitt throwing the game here, blowing the 4th down, and Malik Knowles is going to get that touchdown in the end zone, and Pitt down by 3. They're going to go for a Hail Mary here, and it's going to be caught, but it's going to be dropped just before the end zone, and Tennessee going to do what Tennessee does, and they're going to win this game against Minnesota 44-7, which means Kansas State's 2-0, and Tennessee and Pitt are both at 1-1. Kansas State against Minnesota. Kansas State just loves playing from behind. I don't know what it is, but they're going to go and they're going to be driving here 21-24. Could be big if they actually lose this. 2nd and 9 here. 49 seconds left. And once again, just doing really well at finding wide open receivers and blown coverages here. Like that, Malik Knowles doing what he does. And Kansas State's going to end up kicking the field goal, and they're going to end up going into overtime. 3rd and 6 now for Kansas State. Let's see what they've got here. As he finds a wide open receiver, and he's just going to walk pretty much right into the end zone. Had nothing on him. Minnesota 2nd and 10 here. And he's just going to... I don't even know what just happened. He just ran right through the entire team. Minnesota tied it up 31-31, and his team just drops that ball wide open. Nobody on him. And they're going to have to settle for a field goal. Now Kansas State 3rd and 4 in double OT, 31-34. And they're going to end up throwing an interception. Minnesota's going to win this. And Tennessee is going to beat Pitt as well. So what does that mean for the tables? It's actually going to mean that Kansas State and Tennessee being 2-1, they're going to win this. As you see, Group G, Penn State, Oregon, South Carolina, and Texas Tech are up next. First game here, Oregon 21-14. Penn State driving, and Penn State finds a wide open receiver on that left side. They're looking to score a touchdown and send it into OT here. 3rd and 4. Finds another little dish pass, but they find the first down, and that's what matters. 1st and goal here. Penn State looking to punch this ball in, and they're going to tie this game. Oregon now 3rd and 10 with 24 seconds left, and they've got 3 timeouts, but they're going to throw it away. And Penn State with 1 second left, 3rd and 1, they're going to find a wide open receiver, and they're actually going to win this. How in the world did that happen? Now South Carolina and Texas Tech down by 3 with 50 seconds left. 1st and 10. They're going to go, and once again, blown coverages by a lot of these teams. They're in prime opportunities to win these games, and they're just blowing everything. Texas Tech finds a dot in the back of the end zone. 2 seconds left, 3rd and 16. South Carolina looking for anything, throws the ball, and he ends up catching it, but he's going to fall really short. Texas Tech and Penn State going to start 1-0, and Penn State's going to roll through Texas Tech. They're going to show their dominance, show why they're probably the best team in this group. And Oregon's going to beat South Carolina, so that means Oregon and Texas Tech 1-1. South Carolina, Penn State, I messed up there, is actually 2-0, as Penn State is going to beat South Carolina here once again, and they're going to go 3-0. Texas Tech is actually going to beat Oregon, If they get this first down, which they do, which means Texas Tech is going to be moving on. Who would have thought? The bottom of the bracket. And Group H here, you got Washington, LSU, Fresno State, and North Carolina. Let's see what they got. As Washington and LSU. Wow, LSU's up by 7 here. And Washington is just going to lose that. UNC is going to destroy Fresno State. No surprise there. My Bulldogs can never keep up in any of these videos. And LSU is going to start 1-0 with North Carolina. And North Carolina is actually going to win again. Going to get that first down. And Fresno State up by 10. Washington with 2 minutes left. Washington finds a wide open receiver. Let's see if they can make the comeback or if Fresno State has what it takes at home to win this game. And Washington just looks dominant. It's pretty shocking to see that they put up 6 points right now with them just going real quick into the end zone. But 39 seconds left now. Fresno State still has a chance as he throws cross-bodied and his receiver drops the ball. Jake Haener. 34 seconds left, 3rd and 12. Jake Haener's going to look, he's going to throw to the same spot, and his receiver's going to be marked out a yard short. Jake Haener now dropping, and he's going to trying to get up the field, and he's going to fall short. So North Carolina 2-0, Washington and LSU 1-1, as LSU is going to beat Fresno State to go 2-1 in this group stage here. And UNC is going to dominate Washington 40-20, and they're going to go 3-0, and they're going to win this last group. And this is what the tournament is looking like here. You got the top teams. So you got Oregon State, Tennessee, Texas Tech versus North Carolina, Alabama and Utah, Michigan and USC, Florida State and Ohio State. That's a good matchup. Georgia and Kansas State, Penn State and LSU, and Clemson and TCU to round out this tournament. Last 16 teams in this World Cup. Let's see who's going to take it.
Now, first off in this round of 16, we're going to have Oregon State versus Tennessee. And in this game, Oregon State's going to be down 14-20 against Tennessee. Going to be looking for that touchdown here to take the lead. 14-20, they need a big play as they find one here for their first down. 20-yard reception, 2nd and goal now for Oregon State. Let's see what they're going to do. Quarterback's going to look, and he's going to find his receiver wide open dot in the middle of the end zone, up 21-20 with a minute left. Hendon Hooker looking, just ends up throwing it right into the dirt. Not going to get very much there. 1 minute left, hands the ball off with a minute left on 2nd and 10, which is completely odd. 3rd and 14, they let the clock actually drop here for 40 seconds. They use 40 seconds of the clock. Don't even call a timeout. They pick up about 9 there, 4th and 5 now, but it doesn't seem like Tennessee wants to win, and they're going to get sacked and lose that game. Texas Tech versus UNC up next, and Texas Tech, surprisingly, after UNC dominates the group stage, Texas Tech takes that W. Alabama and Utah up next, as Bama just runs through Utah. Not even surprising here. We're working our way through real quick. Michigan versus USC. Michigan down by 3 against USC right now. And Michigan's driving with a minute 30 left, 3rd and 1. J.J. McCarthy hikes the ball, finds a receiver open, and gets to about the middle of the field, about the 50, 3rd and 8 now. A couple plays later, J.J. McCarthy finds another receiver, Ronnie Bell, over the middle, gets him into field goal range, and allows them to kick a field goal to send it into overtime against USC. But USC has time for one more play here, as you see Caleb Williams firing deep down the field, and it's caught, but there's no time left, so it's going to be short. Now in overtime, J.J. McCarthy on 2nd and 1 hands the ball off, and his running back's just running through guys. 1st and goal. 3rd and goal now. J.J. McCarthy's looking, he's trying to find anybody. His receiver comes back, and he finds a touchdown in the middle of the end zone. Caleb Williams' turn now, as he manages to find a receiver over the middle of the field, and they tie it going into the 2nd overtime. Caleb Williams going, and he's looking again, finds a receiver on the left side of the field who gets 8 yards. They manage to grab that first down a couple plays later, and Caleb Williams grabs the ball, steps up, and runs it in for the touchdown. Now, let's see what J.J. McCarthy can do. J.J. McCarthy's looking, and he actually ends up getting sacked. 2nd and 14. J.J. McCarthy once again gets smacked. 3rd and 22 now. A lot of yards left to gain as he ends up finding a receiver here for a big gain, about 18. 4th and 4. Last chance to get something done here. J.J. McCarthy looking. He finds a receiver over the middle of the field. Ends up picking up the first down. But they end up going absolutely nowhere for 3 straight plays. 4th and goal. J.J. McCarthy's looking. He has a receiver open in the back of the end zone, but he finds nobody. And Florida State and Ohio State are up next. Ohio State gonna take this one 27-14. And Georgia and Kansas State up next. We're working our way through real quick. We're not hesitating, not spending any time, as Georgia is tied 21-21 against Kansas State here, and that's going to be the last play before they go into overtime. Stetson Bennett on 3rd and 5 in overtime looks for his receiver, and he gets dropped, so he's going to have to settle for a field goal. Georgia going to end up taking a 3-point lead. Let's see if Kansas State can take this over. 3rd and 1. They just need a first down, and he steps up and just gets bombarded by defensive players. Ends up kicking the field goal to send it into double OT. Kansas State now has the ball, looking for anything, finds nothing over the middle of the field, ends up having to settle for 3 once again, allowing the door to be wide open for Georgia. Stetson Bennett looking, he finds a receiver, who then breaks a tackle, gets to about the 11-yard line. Now 3rd and 7, a couple plays later, Stetson Bennett hands the ball off on 3rd and 7. Questionable decision there, for some reason, to run the ball. Goes into triple overtime now. Stetson Bennett trying to find a receiver, finds one open, first down. Couple plays later, 3rd and 2 now, looking to see if they can score a touchdown, and he finds his receiver open in the middle of the field, scores a touchdown, gets the extra point, the 2-point conversion rather, and Kansas State looking to match that 27-35, finds that first down, but can't do anything with it, and this is one of the most questionable plays of the entire game. Just loses that, and Kansas State loses. LSU getting this first down here as they're going to win 24-14. And the last game, Clemson versus TCU. Clemson up by 8. A first down seals this, and TCU ends up almost picking that off, but can't get it. If they would have picked that off, they would have had a chance, but Clemson kicks the field goal and ends up winning. But up next, we got the quarterfinals, and we're just going to work our way through. Oregon State versus Texas Tech. Oregon State slaughters them 38-10 pretty easily. Alabama versus USC. USC actually wins this game 30-24. Maybe a shock, but USC is pretty dominant in these simulations. Ohio State versus Georgia. Georgia's going to end up pulling this one off and winning 19-14 over Ohio State. And the last game, LSU versus Clemson, as Clemson is up 27-21 over LSU with 40 seconds left. LSU looking for anything. They find an open receiver there for a first down. Looking to get up the field and hopefully score a touchdown. Now 30 seconds left. But they let the clock run out for a while. They lose a couple downs, and Clemson will turn this ball over. And here's what that bracket is looking like after, now that we're in the Final Four. Final Four, we get into Oregon State versus USC. And this is one of the weirdest glitches I've ever seen. I'm going to let this play out. But every time one of them snapped the ball, it would just automatically throw a penalty or it would get messed up. You can see there the flag comes in. It's tied 38-38 in overtime, but anytime the snap tries to go off, there's a penalty. And the game just wouldn't go on. So I had to go back in and actually simulate the rest of the game as you see here. And as a result of that, USC ends up winning this game 51-45. Now, in the second game, I made sure to change that completely. I reopened the game, and Clemson and Georgia went into overtime as well. So here's Clemson on their first drive, getting dropped there for -1 yards. 3rd and 9 now for Clemson. Let's see what they've got here. as DJ is looking around, and he manages to get dropped. Has to settle for the field goal. Clemson goes up by 3. Georgia's turn now. Stetson Bennett. Let's see what he can do. He got dropped twice. And he is going to be looking for a receiver. They managed to find their way into the field goal position on that one play to kick a field goal to send it into double OT. Georgia once again, 3rd and 4. And he's just going to get smacked. They're going to have to settle for another field goal, and they're going to go up 23-20, and Clemson is going to have the door wide open for them. Now 3rd and goal because they got into the goal zone, and they just managed to get stopped, penalties, etc., and they're going to have to kick another field goal. Going to tie it back up, but Clemson's going to have the ball again, going to have an opportunity. One of these teams is going to have to give something, and they're going to end up finding that first down. 2nd and goal now. They're going to end up handing it off, who's then going to walk into the end zone. They're not going to be able to get the 2-point conversion, but the point is they got that, and now Georgia's going to have a chance to answer as they do the halfback screen, find the first down here, gain about 4 yards on first down. 2nd and 6 now. They're going to end up throwing an interception, and Clemson is going to eliminate Georgia from this. Now we're in the finals. USC versus Clemson to decide the NCAA World Cup. They went to overtime as well. And Clemson and USC, what a game. As you see, USC managed to grab about 9 yards there. 3rd and 1, finding an open receiver wide open for a first and goal. Caleb Williams looking, finds a receiver for a touchdown. USC takes the lead 31-24. Clemson looking to answer back, really wanting to get this done as he gets sacked. 2nd and 18 now. Looking to see if he can manage to get anything done. And he steps up, he cross-body throws, and he finds his receiver open in the back of the end zone to tie this up. Clemson, once again, finding another touchdown. Let me tell you, there was a lot in this game. So we're working our way through it real quick as you see USC manages to find 8 yards on 3rd and 15, 4th and 7 now. USC, this is their last chance, last opportunity. They end up finding an open receiver, and they get a first down. But a couple plays later, 3rd and 11 now, looking to answer back, and he ends up finding an open receiver in the back of the end zone, 38-38. Caleb Williams now 3rd and 4, and once again finding an open receiver, lots of blown coverages, but now they have to go for 2, and they end up capitalizing, they end up getting that 2-point conversion. Clemson, now with their own drive, finds an open receiver for a big gain, about 20 yards. Clemson on 1st and goal now decides to keep it himself and runs right into the end zone. Now, 2-point conversion, if they miss this, they lose, and he ends up keeping it himself and taking it in once again, doing it all himself. 46-46 now, 3rd and 6 for Clemson, and he finds an open receiver in the middle of the end zone again, and he has to go for 2, and he gets stopped. USC now, very next play, Caleb Williams goes, he's looking, and guess what? Open receiver in the back of the end zone, and he goes for 2 for the win. Caleb Williams drops, he's scrambling, and he gets dropped. USC now, once again, Caleb Williams, 3rd and 2, finds a receiver open in the middle of the field for the touchdown. Going for the 2-point conversion, he hands it off, and he finds the end zone to put it up by 8. DJ and Clemson now getting sacked on 1st and 10, 2nd and 17 now. This is their opportunity. USC's got to step it up, and he breaks a tackle, and he finds a receiver open in the middle of the field. And they're just answering. They're going blow for blow. 36 points. As you see them get the 2-point conversion. 36 points for each of them in this overtime. As you see there, he grabs 12, and this is the biggest opportunity. They kick a field goal. USC wins this with a touchdown. So let's see what Caleb Williams can do. Caleb Williams finds an open receiver, gets the 1st and goal. 1st and goal now, down by 3. They're looking to score a touchdown. Caleb Williams looks, and he ends up throwing a pick. And that's going. That's gone. That's Clemson's game. Look at him. He could go all the way. Shout out Chris Berman. He's going. He's gone. And Clemson wins this game. And they win the entirety of the NCAA World Cup. And that's going to do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Took a lot of time and effort to make this video, and I'm sorry it came so late, but I really enjoyed making it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a unique concept. And if you guys have any other suggestions, please make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. Until next time, it's been me, Vichano, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.